Well, good Saturday evening, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's having a great weekend. You know, it was crazy this morning. I woke up this morning, my wife and all that, and she said to me, she's like, the days go by so fast. She said, you know, it's like you don't want to go to bed because that day is gone. I said, honey, that's why I try and pack as much into every day, because I recognize that at 57 years old, more than likely I got less days in front of me than I do behind me. And I want to make sure that every day I'm working towards something. And that's why I always come out here. I still have yet to change the gas on here, so I'm hoping I can make it through one more. Let me turn it down a little. One more time. That's why I come out here, because I recognize that you only have so much time in life. And I like to reflect on the day that was. Did I do everything I could to be a good person, to try and help out others, to try and get closer to my goals and to get those things done? Anyway, interesting stuff here. The Washington Commanders, owned by Dan Snyder, who has them kind of for sale. Jeff Bezos, there's a little war between Jeff Bezos and Dan Snyder. I said for a long time that I believe that Jeff Bezos is going to be the owner. I've said that for about 3 years of the Commanders. And he has hired a firm to go ahead and figure out exactly the final number. But Dan Snyder has basically gone through and said, I will not sell to Jeff Bezos. He literally hates Jeff Bezos that much because he bought the Washington Post and proceeded to kind of go against him. So I guess in some regards, he looks at it as the reason why I've lost the team or have to sell it is because of Jeff Bezos. And I'll be damned if I'm going to go ahead and do that. Well, Jeff Bezos has got more money than anybody else. It'll be interesting to see if money talks and BS walks. I just don't know. Who knows? Who knows? It's been crazy because we're only a week away from the combine starting. And that's significant for a couple of reasons. One, when you have the combine, you have all of the teams and the GMs and the owners and all them together. And that's when deals start getting made. Right now you got teams working on releasing guys to get themselves back in cap shape. By the 15th of March, by the beginning of the league year, you must be under the salary cap. We have yet to make a move. And it's interesting that Wade, my buddy Wade, shout out to Wade, he sent me a text message earlier today because his question was about Tyron Smith. He's like, do you think we cut Tyron Smith? I said, well, you know, we've been hearing everybody say that Tyron Smith is probably going to be a cap casualty, that Tyron Smith has probably played his last play. But I said I had done a video a week or two ago about Tyron Smith might be an insurance policy. I know he's a $17 million hit. And maybe you consider, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, restructuring his deal, because the problem is Terrence Steele. Terrence Steele has an ACL tear, middle of the season. There's no guarantee that he's going to be ready to start the season. And if he is, there's no guarantee that he's going to be 100%. Tyron Smith recovered from the hamstring injury, playing, 3, 4 games, 5 games at right tackle, having to relearn it, could have an off season where he's working on being the right tackle. And maybe just maybe being on the right side, not having to go against always the best guy all the time, that maybe that can help him to make it through. Because the thing with Tyron Smith is when he plays really good. Problem is him making it through a whole season. And maybe you look at it as Tyron Smith being there is an insurance policy for Terrence Steele. Because Terrence Steele is a free agent. And so now you have to wonder, are the Cowboys going to re-sign him? What kind of number is it going to be? And when is he going to be ready? We've already been the path of signing a guy who's injured, and we're probably about on the path of doing that again with Tony Pollard. But the reality is I need somebody in there right now. Now, I know the Cowboys were high on Matt Lulinsko, but we're talking about a guy who is going into his second year, who has not had a game in the NFL. There's a Ball out there who needs a lot of work. And that's not to say that he can't get better, or do you go the route of drafting another guy? One of the problems that people don't seem to focus too much on, we've talked about the wide receiving core, that we need more weapons for Dak Prescott, which is true. But we also have to look at the fact that our offensive line kept having to shift different lineups, that our offensive line at pass blocking was 28th. Now we are going to be in a transition somewhat. We're going to be changing what we're doing because of being a West Coast offense. It's predicated on getting the ball out of the hands of the quarterback quickly. It's going to be more zone blocking. So maybe, in fact, they'll look and say, we don't need the offensive linemen to have to hold up for as long, and we need guys that are maybe smaller and more agile. I don't know, but I know one thing. Right now, without Tyron Smith and Terrence Steele on that offensive line, and knowing that Connor McGovern is also a free agent, there's some worries on the offensive line that they need to address. I'm still waiting to find out, are the Cowboys going to dip into free agency for once, or are we going to be the status quo? The thing that worries me is the coaching staff. Cowboys do what they always do. They hire from within. And if they're doing that still, hiring from within, why wouldn't they end up doing the same thing they've been doing with free agency? Well, we'll find out. We'll find out in a couple of weeks here when free agency starts if the Cowboys actually make a play. There's guys out there that they should at least kick the tires on. Bobby Wagner, Odell Beckham Jr., among other people. Anyway, I am going to go carry my happy ass to bed. It's been a very productive day. Been actually working on the studio, streamlining it, and I'm going to be making some changes to the set here that will definitely be a better experience for you guys. And I'm excited about them. Just have to figure out how to implement them and to get it all to work and stuff. But believe me, we are taking my mama's basement and making it better. Whew. Remember, good people, tell the people you love them, because you might not get the chance again. And I love you guys. God willing, I'll see you tomorrow. Damn if it didn't get cold again. Woo!